Hey everyone. So for me, today is day 2 of my 40-day journey into deepening my relationship to prayer. I just wanted to check in for those who might be on a similar journey and to just offer a few thoughts. When you make a commitment to deepen your relationship to anyone or anything, and the commitment is really authentic and sincere, you start noticing things, people, ideas, readings showing up in your life that help you to support and maintain the commitment. And in just 2 days, I've had so many reminders of this commitment to deepening my relationship to prayer. So yesterday, I woke up and I turned to my Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles has been a spiritual practice that has been with me for 25 years or more. And yesterday was day 49 of A Course in Miracles student workbook. And the message of day 49 was, God's voice speaks to me all through the day. God's voice speaks to me all through the day. God's voice speaks to me all through the day. And you'll remember that in the last video introducing this 40-day challenge or 40-day journey, I talked about the way in which prayer can be a really powerful form of listening. So this notion that God's voice speaks to me throughout the day is something that you can carry with you. And when you plant the seed that indeed that is true, that indeed I can be in steady and constant communication with the God of my understanding, that force, that source of all things, however you define God, and that contact is present with me in all that I do throughout my entire day, you begin to develop an awareness. You begin to look for those expressions, those communications. You begin to orient your listening toward the voice of God. And this is how you might identify that happening. God's voice speaks to me all throughout my day. It might happen in a conversation with someone in your life who plants an insight or shares something with you that makes a big difference, that leaves you different, changed, because you had the conversation in the first place. You might notice the voice of God in a meme that you encounter on Facebook or Instagram that lifts you up, that pushes you forward in a way that you really needed. You might notice the voice of God in a moment of meditation where an insight arises that you would not have had otherwise had you not granted yourself permission to get really quiet. You might notice the voice of God in the way that you feel, in the way that you intuitively feel about someone, about something, about a situation. You might notice the voice of God speaking to you through the beauty of a snowfall, of the way that the sky looks when the sun is setting during winter. You might notice the voice of God in an act of kindness. You might notice the voice of God when someone shares with you their raw humanity, when they're going through something difficult. You might notice the voice of God in the way that your child looks at you. Begin to notice, because this is prayer too. This is prayer. So listen. Listen for signs, expressions, communication from the divine in all forms, all around you, all day, every day, because this listening is prayer too. Onward we go. I'll see you soon. Listen.